Hey everyone. So in this episode, we're gonna go ahead and implement the stock functionality on our UI layer. In the last episode, when we implemented get stocks, I made a bit of a mistake. So let's first of all rename this to get stock, and second of all, you can see that here we're getting a stock by the product ID. So when we go to the UI layer, we will have to get a list of products, and for each of the product, we'll have to get a list of stocks. Using this way, we would have to get all the products first, resulting in a call to database and then a separate call for stock list. What we want to do is we want to make one call, get a list of products, and within that list of products, for each product, we want a containing list of stocks. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to remove the product ID because we are just going to get a list of products. And second of all, let's create a public class and call it product view model. This model is going to contain our enumerable stock view model and stock. Let's go down a little bit. And then we want to give it an ID and we want to see the description of what type of product it is. Next thing, instead of calling the stock object from the database, we want to get the products. Let's remove the where clause because we're just going to get all the products. And we cannot select the stock view model because this is now a product entity instead of a stock. What we want to do is we want to create a new product view model, and this will contain that. Let's move this down. Just bear with the mess for a little bit. Let's set the ID to ID, and let's set the description to description. Now we want to take the stock, and here we want to take the stock from our product, and this is where we want to select Y. And let's take this bracket and move it down here. Okay, format this. Let's move this to here. Okay, and now let's replace the X's with the Y's. Okay, so one thing, because our product has the stock object inside of it, the stock object here, because stock is contained in another table, it's not going to be brought out automatically with all the products. What we want to do is we want to call include. All right, and this is an entity framework functionality. So you will have to import entity framework core package. And here we want to include which other entity we want to include from another table that's relating to the product. In our case, it's stock. Okay, and now we want to return product view model. Okay, simple change. Now let's go to our UI layer. Let's go to our controllers, admin controller. Let's copy all of these methods, make a few spaces. Let's put them here. We don't need this one. We're never going to be getting a specific product. Now let's change this to stocks. Paste this here. Take products, Control H, select all of this, and yeah, replace it with stock. Like so. And let's just remove this as here. Okay, and that should work for us. Let's close this off. Let's close this off. Now let's go into our admin pages, admin layout, and let's clean it up a little bit. Let's remove the site CSS. We don't need the partial here. And let's remove this site.js stuff here. Let's go into our index page and let's take our view and Axios and make it available to the whole of the UI panel since to the whole of the admin panel since we're going to be using that in every part of it. Okay, so now that that's there, we can close these off and let's go into our stock. Let's create a section, script. Let's create a new file in our JS admin folder. Let's call it stock.js. And let's make a new view app. Again, element is going to be app and datum. So let's start off simple. Let's start off with a list of products. Second of all, let's just create methods. Another property we want to add here is new stock. All right, and the AD is going to be 0. Description, let's say size, and quantity, let's set the default quantity to 10. Okay, so let's go into the product.js file and let's just copy the get product method and put it into our methods here. And let's rename it to get stock, and instead of products here, let's call stock. And the result, let's rename this to product so it matches this attribute here. And let's make them, let's call mounted. So when the product, when the view app loads, we want to call this dot get stock. So we want to load our stock. Okay, so in our CS.html, let's delete this header and let's get a script. JS admin stock. And now let's make a div app. Let's make another div columns. So we want 2 parts. First part is where we're going to be displaying our product list. So column, and let's make it 3 segments. We don't need it too big. And the second one is where we're going to be displaying our stock form and stock menu. So let's call it is S9. So we want it to be a little bit bigger. So here, let's make a table. Let's give it a class of table. And here we want to use the for directive and product and product. So we just want to get a product. And for each product, let's just display description. Let's just display its description. And now we want to, on click, we want to select product and let's pass product. Okay, and let's make this method. Select product, product, and let's make a selected product object. And when we call this method, let's set the selected product to the product that we passed to the method. Okay. Now, let's make a table here. Let's give it a class of table again. And render this table only if selected product isn't null. Okay. So if it's not null, render it. And now we can access the stock in selected product.stock. And for every stock, let's just render an input field and vmodel stock description and quantity. Let's make another div here. And let's actually give it a class of column as well. And let's make it another small segment. So let's make it 3. And let's shorten this one to 6. We'll call this battle, no battle. We'll just make a link. And let's say update products. And here on click is where we're going to call update products. In this one, however, what we want to do is let's make a heading, title, new product, new stock rather. And let's make a field control and input. Right. Would probably be faster to just type it up, but never mind. And let's vmodel. What did we call our new stock? There we go. And description. And let's copy this, put it here, and quantity. Now let's not forget our class input to make it all look pretty. Let's paste this for all of our inputs. And at the bottom here we can say link, add class button, and success. This one we can give it button warning, and on click let's say add stock. And here, not update product, but rather update stock. So let's create these methods. Update stock and add stock. So let's grab this Axios implementation here. And let's not forget to this loading. Okay, we want to post. And what we want to post is our this dot new stock. Asset ID, description, quantity. Let's double check in our controller that that's what we want. So create stock. We actually want product ID instead of ID. So right here, let's change this to product ID. And when we select the product, this dot new stock dot product ID equals product dot ID. So this is when we're gonna set this ID. Okay, so when we post this to stock, that's what it's gonna add. And when we add this stock, after we create the stock, we're gonna get the response with the actual stock object that we want. All we want to do is in our products, because when we get stock, don't forget that we return this product view model, which has a stock object. So when we create a stock, we want to append that stock to this list. So for our products, get the stock and push res data. So let's see if it works. All right, let's go into stock, and something's definitely not right here. So let's see what we get in our view products. All right, so we have a full HTML here. Okay, so we're calling the wrong route. Apologies about that. It's not stocks. There we go. So let's refresh that. Okay, there we go. Let's remove this breakpoint. Okay, so we have all our stocks. Preferably we don't want to display these two if we don't have a stock selected. So let's go into here. Let's take this if clause. Let's cut it from here and let's put it on these two columns. Fresh. All right, cool. Let's make this admin panel a little bit stand out a little bit more. I don't like it. Give it a title. There we go. So let's select. Okay, cool. And if we go to our root and we look at our selected product, we can see that the ID and everything changes. So let's try to add a small size. Add. Let's refresh, see what happens. Okay, so there it is. So let's try this again. Let's add a medium. See what we get in the console. Push of undefined. Okay, so products doesn't actually have a stock a stock object, so we want to append to the selected product rather. So let's refresh. Let's select this one and let's add a large this time. It'll work. With this breakpoint, and there we go. Extra large. Add. Nice. And if we refresh, whenever we select, it's still there. So let's go into our stock JS and let's actually implement delete stock. Let's copy this, put this in here, call delete. Let's just add ID onto the end here. Put ID in the method, delete stock. Let's add another column here. Let's grab a button, a link, and unclick. Want to delete stock. And what we want to pass here is stock.id. And let's say delete. And let's say has text warning. Let's refresh, select, delete. Not warning, that was bad. Danger. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So let's see if it works. Delete. Oh, that doesn't look good. Refresh. Because it was spliced, but it did delete it. Alright. So let's just pass an index here as well. And when we iterate, let's bring up the index here. Let's pass the index. So then from our selected product stock, we want to splice index 1. Okay, refresh, delete, delete, refresh. Okay, so they're deleting. So let's add large. Let's add medium. Okay, so now that we're adding them, how do we like bulk update? So let's do that. Let's go into our update stock and let's take this and let's put it there. Let's do put stocks. So let's see what we're passing. Update stock request. Let's take a look. So we have a list of stocks here. So we need ID, we need product ID. Actually, yeah, product ID, description, and quantity. So let's go into our stock. So what we want to pass is a list of products. To do this, we can go into this, selected product, grab the stock, and from here we can map. And map is very similar to link query select statement. And what we want to return is a new object where we have ID as xid. Let's copy this 3 times. Description, quantity. Put the quantities here. And now we want to get the product ID. To do this, we just do selected product.id. Okay. Let's put a semicolon to close this off. And let's try this. Hopefully it works. Let's put a breakpoint to see if it does. It's quite complicated. 11, 12, 13. Update product. Request. Let's see what we get. And it's null. Get the exception here. Yeah. Let's take this and let's put it forget this. Let's do var VM, and let's console log VM. Let's see what we get. And let's put return after so we don't make the API call. Alright, so we do have an array here that consists of these products. Okay, and the reason is because this list is contained in an array. And if we look closely to our update stock, this list is contained in an array in an object. So we have to pass in an object which has a stock property, and that stock property is list. Okay, so let's do just that. Let's do stock and assign it that list. Delete all of this. Refresh. Okay, unexpected token. Yeah, delete that. Okay, 11, 12, 133, and voila, 11, 133. Let's step in. Let's see what's happening. We're actually gonna get update. Let's refresh, select, and cool. And we have updated all three products at the same time. So we can add stock to our products. We can update all products at the same time. We can delete, and we're getting stocks. So again, hopefully you guys didn't mind that this is such a long episode, but you get to see how you can update multiple records at the same time and a bunch of other cool stuff. As you can see, building a shop is no joke, and it does take a lot of time. So hopefully most of you will have the fortitude and determination to stick out throughout this project, and by the end of it, you will have this awesome shop that you will be able to use in your freelancing adventures. And remember, if you build it once, you don't have to reinvent the wheel and build it all over again and again, because you know the project inside out from bottom up. You know every single part of it, and you can customize it the way you want. So by the end of it, you're gonna turn out with a very powerful template that will be very customizable. So this will be it for this episode. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far in the tutorial series, big thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please ask. This can be very complicated. If you are a beginner and you are watching this intermediate tutorial because you want to step further, I know I'm not explaining some things. And if you're new to C#, do ask questions. I will try to explain these concepts as much as possible, or make perhaps a video on explaining certain concepts. So just tell me what you're struggling with, and then I can explain it to you. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.